be reading a book about pilgrims. Who can tell me what they know about pilgrims? Please raise your hand. Kyle.
Pilgrims came to America.
Came to America. Hannah?
They were here a long time ago.
A long time ago. Anyone else? Izzy?
Celebrated a holiday called Thanksgiving.
Ooh, that's a good one. Celebrated Thanksgiving. And this book is called N.C. Wyatt's Pilgrims. Does anyone else have any other ideas about what they already know about pilgrims? Wes?
They riding on horses.
Rode horses. Now. Okay. So first we'll start our book. N.C. Wyatt's Pilgrims. The 16th and 17th centuries were a time of religious struggle in England. The rulers wanted their subjects to follow the established church, but some people held different beliefs. One group, referred to as the separatists, put in prison. So right here, I am wondering what the separatists will do. So there's no need to be writing on your clipboards just yet. We're going to do the first couple as a class. Thank you. What will separatists do? That's one thing I'm wondering. As time passed, they heard stories of a settlement in North America called Virginia. So the separatists decided to cross the ocean and establish a colony of their own. They made an agreement with London businessmen. The settlers could receive passage and supplies in return, and they would send the London company fish, fur, and lumber for 7 years. So I am thinking, based on what I'm reading so far, that the separatists were probably pretty brave people, because they were leaving their country, weren't they? And going to a whole new place that they had never been before.
I'll do that.
So that's one of the inferences I'm going to make. Separatists. Separatists equal brave.
Quickly, Ricky.
Can we write that?
Yeah. The ship set sail from Southampton, England, but twice the leaky Speedwell ship had to turn back. Each time the Mayflower followed her, and finally on September 6, 1620, the Mayflower left alone from Plymouth, England on her historic voyage. Of the 102 passengers crowded in the damp quarters, 44, 19 men, 11 women, and 14 children were separatists. The others were recruited by the London Company. These included a professional soldier, and there were also some hens, goats, and 2 dogs. So I have a question right now. I'm wondering, what was this boat like? Yeah. What was the boat like? Let's see if the story will tell me. Noise was a constant companion. Timbers creaked, sails and rigging flapped, rats scratched, and bilge water gurgled. At night, some 90 people slept in an area known as the 'tween decks, made of straw mattresses on a hard floor. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound like a comfortable ship?
No.
No.
I'd rather have the mattresses we have now.
Me too, Dalton. To eat, they had dried peas and beans and dried fruit, and the food was washed down with beer, which even the children drank.
Oh no.
Gets even worse.
Oh no.
Lice, boredom, homesickness, and fear added to the misery. So I'm going to infer that these people were kind of sad, and they were worried. So as I continue to read the story, I want you guys to start on your clipboard and write down some things that you might be questioning or thinking. And remember, when we're thinking, what are we doing, Wes? We are inferring. Thank you.
I have a question. Do we write that down?
You don't need to write that down. You can write your own down if you want to. From the deck of the ship, the passengers gazed a bleak landscape. So they made it. We're all the way to America. Some of the sailors muttered that the place was filled with wild beasts and wild men called Indians. A few passengers talked of returning to England, but most were.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you who your knee buddy is, and you're going to turn and face them, and I need you to share one question, something you wondered during the story that Miss Sheward read, and one inference, something you were thinking. Okay, are you ready to hear your knee buddies? Madison, Gina, Janina, Izzy, Berlin, Isaiah, Dalton and Coleman, Wes, Khalil, Ricky, and Lisa, okay? Okay, so knee to me, and I want you to share for 1 minute, questions and inferences you found in the story.
What are they doing? Why do they like America? I want they like they celebrate
I have 500.
So we can share what we came up with? Okay. I would like to hear some of the inferences and some of the questions you guys had during the Pilgrim story, okay? So we're going to raise our hands if you have one, and we'll fill them in. Let's start with questions. Does anyone have a very good question from the story? Takaya, what question did you have?
What language do they speak?
Good. That's a good one, Takaya. Now, who are you talking about, the Pilgrims or the Indians?
The pilgrims.
Good. Who else had a good question? Ricky.
Did they like God? Since they read the Holy Bible.
So you wanted to know more about their
Personality.
religion. Good.
Kyle wrote that too.
I just need to see hands. Berlin, I was talking to you. What did you come up with?
Why do they call Indians beasts?
That's a very good one. I was wondering that too, because that doesn't seem right. Because what did the Indians do in the story? They helped. So why are they being called beasts? Can anyone think of why?
They're awesome.
What do you think, Kyle?
Because like they're wild and they hunt and they have to kill people sometimes.
We don't know all about that, right? We don't know all about whether that's true. But yeah, they're different from the Pilgrims. Okay, let's come up with inferences. Who has inferences? Someone I haven't heard from. Julie.
Why didn't
This is an I think, not questions. This is inferences. I think. Anyone else? I know you guys had some on your paper. Hannah.
I think Squanto is kind.
Squanto is kind. I was thinking that too. What made you think that, Hannah?
Because of the things he taught us.
Because of the things he taught them. Because could they have survived if they didn't learn how to make their food and hunt? No, they wouldn't have survived, right? Wes, give me an inference.
Indians are strong.
Indians are strong. What made you think that?
Because Squantos.
Because you can see in the pictures that they have muscles.
I wasn't talking to you.
Wes.
But
Answer. Why? Berlin.
Because it said
Wes. Go ahead.
Because he's strong. Squantos.
Right. They were able, yeah, they had to be tough. They hunted and they gathered their own food. So can you guys see that when you're reading, especially books about history, how this can help us? Do you guys see how this can help us? Because there's so much information in books like this, right? Pages and pages of it. So if we come up with things that we're wondering during the book and inferences we make, that will help guide our reading, right? I do this all the time when I read my textbooks, my history textbooks. Now I have a question. Kyle, were you able to answer the questions you came up with by the end of the story?
a few.
A few. Good. And Ricky, your inferences that you made. Were you, after reading the story, did you think, yeah, I think those inferences were right?
Sure.
You did or no? Yes. Okay, very good. You guys did a great job on this. Thank you.